Hello guys! So I'm finally back again and finally I'm ready to do one YouTube career and for the club I picked Spal from Italian division. So it will be challenging of course, but like always my minimum expectation is top 4. Realistic is second place behind Juventus. And if we can challenge for title, it would be nice. But I'm not sure. The thing is, we are playing with public beta version of the game, and in public beta I only was playing with one club, and that was Crystal Palace. And I mean, I won the Premiership and FA Cup, but my team was really strong. I mean, I spent 190 millions. I spent 190 millions with this fucking Crystal Palace. As we all know, Premiership clubs are basically overpowered in this game, and with any club you can challenge for title if you know how to play the game, just because of transfer budgets and availability to best coaches and everything. So regarding the Spal, I done one big mistake, and actually I signed a player what I cannot use because he's outside of, he's signed and he's player from outside of European Union, and most of the budget I spent on him actually. So until January I need to stick with without him somehow. All others are basically cheap players and few loan players like Pellegrini, but he gets immediately injured. So what I will do? Okay, so first thing, I'm not sure will I play with attacking or balanced. I mean, with Crystal Palace I was using let's go. We will stick with this one, but I'm not sure how will this work. I mean, Atalanta is strong team, and my team lack quality, so I'm not sure. We will try to use attacking because we are at home. So as you can see, there is another important thing. Now we are playing Italian division. Most of the clubs are playing with 3 at back. So now I need to see how will this work. Definitely, just because FM20 is the worst in the history, I think I will watch the games on 2D, because I become irritated when I'm watching how the match engine is poor and how players are behaving. So I never like to watch on 2D, but basically Sport Interactive is forced me to watch like this. So what is the thing with this tactic? So this is basically 3-5-2 version what I was using with Birmingham and Crystal Palace. It's very balanced tactic actually, because I mean, not so many teams can play with 3 midfielders and you have 2 strikers up front. Very dangerous. Very nice goal from my Mezzala. So the things what I noticed in beta, your strikers will struggle with scoring the goals. I mean, with high amount of goals per season. Also I noticed I was scoring more goals from set pieces. I'm not sure now. Fuck. So we will now try to observe, and we will see. At least there is no still this through balls from opponent players. So with this tactic you will see a lot of times this kind of situations where my wing backs is actually, it's in nice shooting position, because in attacking phase they are basically playing like inside forwards actually. And that is the reason why I always like to use wingbacks, because they can do everything in defensive phase, offensive, and one of my favorite teams actually was Brazil from 2002 from Japan and Korea World Cup. I think that team was having I mean, Cafu on the right side, Roberto Carlos on the left side. I mean, what you can expect from that was the I mean best two wing backs in the history, I think, in last 30 years for sure. So this is another problem. My bench is very limited, and so what I will do now? Normally I remove one striker, but I'm thinking, okay, Salah attack, Mazalas. I'm thinking who will play there, because I'm not having this type of player who can play. I will put this youngster, but he's more attacking. He's playmaker. Somebody told me on my FM-based topic that they are using, when they are playing with one player less, they are changing role to striker to false 9. And actually I will try that one. I want to try something. I never been fan of plug play system. I feel this is not correct way to play the game. So my tactic is, for me, basically starting. It's like template. It's starting template. Then I always do some tweaks and adjustments, just because of individual things of my players. You know, each team is different. Some teams, they have different strengths, and you need to know how to react, especially during the game. You know. I mean, people still asking me bullshit questions. How is possible that Crystal Palace can spend 190 million without touching a game editor? Whoever watch, I know that I'm always disabling game editor and I'm not using. The problem is that people are basically stupid. I mean, you can go like this. If you have 20 million for transfer budget, for sure you can spend for 40, because I always buy players on rates. You know, I buy, let's say, for example, I pay half price in the cash, rest in installment. Or I'm also doing that. That's another trick. If I'm playing with lower shitty club, then I just put 50% clausula from next sale. I don't care for how much money you will get after 4 or 5 years when I decided to sell that player. I don't care, because I'm playing only 1-2 seasons, and that's it. So basically, I want to have that player. So I will pay any wage, or I will add any clausula just to get you. That's it. Very simple. So this will be very hard to survive. I mean, of course, shitty bench is always a problem when you're playing with lower quality teams, but somehow you need to find solution. I need one good cross. Injuries, red card. So my season, we're already starting with fuck up. What I can do? I will give team instruction to attack more wide. You always need to do some changes with team instruction in the last 20-30 minutes, because you see now, again, some shit. Fuck. Ayo, how will I survive in the last fucking... Changing to balanced. I'm forced to do it. Now, I mean, now I have 2 players less in the last 20 minutes. And this will be really interesting, guys. I don't know when I was last time without 2 players. Can I survive? Fuck. Time is now going very slowly. Yeah, this happened when you have I didn't interact very fast. The problem is I'm not having... I have two older central midfielders in my under 20 squad because they're on transfer list. I forget to put them on the bench. Actually, I can use them. And then... So, 5 minutes more. Will I change to defensive? Fuck it. I didn't experiment a lot. I remember every time when I was changing to defensive, 1-2 times I considered goals. So, and I still feel that balanced and attacking are only 2 good mentalities in this current match engine. Fuck, you see, my team is still attacking. So I gave a team instruction, of course, to attack through wide because... Go back, guys. Go back, fuck. Do not concede the goal. Oh my... What I can tell you? Dramatic win. Three months. Fuck. Hey, 2 months. Okay, guys. So you can see that I will have a lot of fucking issues. Let me check my... I don't like this year that I cannot on this change to here to squad. Every time I need to do this fucking filtering. The Mirko is veteran. I will put him to senior. Do I have any wing back? Fuck, I will need to use a left central defender. So looks like the game is even pushing me to be even more challenging. Verona, okay. Away game. So they are on 20 plays. That means they lost. They lost convincingly in the first game. Yeah, 3 goals difference. Fuck. This is some youngster. I don't know. Fuck this. Cancel this shit. I don't need this low reputations youngsters in my team. I must say, yesterday I lost around 6 hours to looking to fucking coaches for this club, and actually I was not... The biggest issue was assistant manager, and somehow I found one who is below average, but only decent option, and that is Adrian Mutu. So Adrian Mutu, ex-famous player, is my assistant manager. Definitely, that's why I never record pre-season, because it's fucking pain in ass to look for certain players and certain coaches, especially when I'm playing like this with small, low quality team. Also, when I'm playing with this low quality team, If you go see here, add remove links, I don't know, I have plenty fucking divisions here. Just to have more larger database with cheaper players. So later on I need to remove all this shit. I will remove. He is on the transfer list. You will see my squad is having a lot of players on loan, including Kane from Liverpool, young Kane, Pellegrini, but Pellegrini is injured. Fucking, he just joined injured, so I will see in the future how will my attacking duo will look, because I'm not happy with Petagna. Petagna, why I don't like Petagna for now? I don't know how he'll perform. It's his composure 11, so he will miss a lot. I'm thinking to use veteran Flocari in that position, or maybe Pellegrini there and Palosci right. I will try. As I said, first few games I want to observe my team, and then I need to do some quality changes. You see, Adrian Mutu is my assistant manager. Juric is my neighbor from here, from living split area, so Croatian coaches now will be in the next game. So I will try to do each episode like always below, little bit below 1 hour. That is always, I think, 4 or 5 games maximum. Because if you do YouTube upload with video less than 1 hour, upload is going much faster. So whoever has some question, they always can ask me. I mean, my topic is always on FM base. I don't like to use Sport Interactive Forum because I saw plenty people there on this site who don't have any clue about this game, and they are bullshitting some shits. What is, I mean, disaster. I mean, you can see also, if you ever watch some of Sport Interactive guys, how they are playing this game. I mean, he's working for that company, and I mean, that is his job, but they don't know how to play the game. I saw a lot of bad things. But that is also a big story, but for now, I will try to concentrate more on game and more on the real life football. I must say I was not surprised that Tottenham beat City yesterday, just because the City team is always struggle against teams who has plenty pace. And if you saw yesterday the lineup of this fucking Tottenham, all these players, what they used, they have up front. I mean, like Moura, Son, Berwing, and who else? They have a lot of pace to counter the City, and that's happening actually in that game. City was attacking around, but on end, what I will do? Fuck. I need to use Valotti, who is tackling his 7th. So this is one of the problems when you are playing with shitty team, because I have Murgia here, he's still injured. You see, 3 months him. You see how many? This guy, 3 months, 5 months. This guy already suspended. So this will be a really hard campaign. What else? Attacking. We will continue with fucking attacking. 1, 2. Only 3 players on bench. So this is very standard for my first season. A lot of times I play with only 2, 3 players on the bench. Let's go for the best, guys. And actually, yesterday, that was really nice opportunity to make big money in that game, because here was around odd on Tottenham was around 5 something. So I mean, if you bet 100 euro, 500 euro in your pocket, I mean, it was a really nice opportunity. Okay, Petagna, maybe I will stick with you. Oh, so this is. I know people complaining a lot that crossing is not so good. I mean, everything is not good with this match engine. I don't know anything what is really good. I don't know. I need to think what good thing is with this match engine. Will be. What is good? Maybe the fact that formation with 3 at back is actually they're really viable. Sometimes was happening that 3 at back was not really good. At least for now they are even. My opinion, this is the best approach to play the game. 3 at back, 2 strikers up front. I feel the formation with 4 at back are for very big teams. Of course, easy to play with 4 back when you have central defender. For example, you have Trent right and Andy Robertson left, and Van Dijk as central defender. Of course, you need only 2 central defenders to deal with opponent. But for lower quality teams, 3 at back is must. If you want to challenge for titles, especially in the first season. Very rarely I see any tactic that with 4 at back that is, let's say, really strong. This tactic most probably is not best. There is always better tactics, but it is working for me. As I said, tactic is for me only template. And then for me most important that time when I'm creating tactic, I don't want to concede a lot of goals. Ooh. So I'm playing attacking because I feel I have some weird feeling. I feel if you have very strong team and very high quality players, I think balanced is maybe even better in some certain, because with balanced stronger team will rarely concede the goals. And I'm going attacking because most of people we struggle against smaller teams, and Verona is actually smaller team in Italian division. Regarding my other tactic, what is using Shadow Striker, I feel that tactic is only good for some. I mean, you need to have a really good team to play that. I mean, as we all know, IMC role is very poor in current match engine. I mean, Pukki scored for me 15 goals, but most of these goals was coming from long range or from free kicks. And can he fucking score the clear chance? Okay. So looks like I will have pretty decent start of the season. 2 wins. You see, Verona was trying to press me and push more, but This is another thing what I noticed from public beta, that I score more goals from set pieces. If you have a player who is very strong in that department, for example, Vida was scoring for my Crystal Palace, I think he scored almost 10 goals in the season, what is pretty good for central defender. Just because his heading bravery, it's really good. So Flocari is still on bench just because, I mean, both strikers have scored the goals. This guy is having so in the second half I always like to add one more instruction. Normally it's only all the time only this one. The reason is, if you don't do nothing, very rarely you will score the goal or something. If you do some small changes, always works. And this is the change what I like to do. Now I have another problem I have. So Holebas is injured for 3 months. I cannot afford to lose this guy to be suspended. So what I can do? Igor is left-footed central defender. So he will go on this role, and Tomovic will play in the central defender. I need to somehow for next 2-3 months survive with this, only with one left wing back. What will be not very easy. So people are asking me who done best January signings in Europe. I think on end, I think maybe Inter Milan was done the best job, because with Moses and Ashley Young, they have good bench players. I mean, they can even start in Italian division, but they can rotate a lot. Also, with signing Ericsson for less than 20 million, it's very cheap in these days. And Ericsson together with Brozovic, and then you have Sensi. With Ericsson will bring them set pieces, creativity, and he can create more goals. And I think when you look overall, they done the best job in Europe with January transfers. Who done worse the job? Fuck, this is a hard question. Who done worse job? I don't know. For example, the stupid Mourinho is complaining that he wants the striker, and then he buy winger. Why you buy winger? Fucking, I know why he buy the winger. He wants to play counter-attacking football. That's the thing what he wants to do. He wants to basically counter the other teams. And this player, what he brought, is actually, it was not required for his squad. I mean, you have Moura, you have Son. Why you need one extra wide player? So you saw the reason in the yesterday game when he basically played with him. I mean, they pay him, I think, 20 and something millions, what is, in my opinion, shit. Regarding Man United, as I said, you can bring them 10 good players, they don't have coach. I mean, This idiot Solskjaer was using Bruno Fernandes as holding midfielder. I mean, only guy who can score from range, create, you use him as holding midfielder. I mean, very, very, very poor. I think Barcelona also done some bullshit things. I mean, they signed again winger. You have fucking Dembele. You have this young Fatsi. You have Messi who plays on wide area. And then you sign. Okay, the guy will come at beginning of next season. My opinion, very poor transfer. If you ask me what player Barcelona need to sign, I think, of course, there are not so many good complete forwards in Europe. I think Jimenez from Wolves was a really good pick for them. Even for Man United, he was a good player to sign. If you want to play with that kind of striker. And another club done very good deals. I think Hertha done very good with Piatek and I think Tossar. Surprisingly, they spent a lot of money. I can still fucking register this guy. I didn't check my schedule. I think this is like realities. This is always good when you are at the start of the season when you're playing with lower reputation teams. I feel that's the best way. If you, for example, immediately play with Juventus, Naples, and some other clubs, and then you lost 3-4 games, and then fucking your morale drop, situation can be very, very devastating. Like this, now I'm slowly building up my confidence. Players will adapt. This was some period of international games. The skin I'm using OPZ Elite, like every year, last few years I'm using this skin. As I said, now I'm playing finally at home on my computer, so... And also I downloaded Face Pack, OPS Elite Face Pack and some DF11 also, some latest updates. So yeah, my statement is always the same. I still feel the people who knows to play the game, at least every division with most shitty team will be top 6. I mean, at least. In my opinion, top 4 is really a reality. I mean, you don't need even to have money. You just loan the players. This is how I do. I mean, if you have money, you buy. If not, you just loan. You loan the players who fits in the tactic. That's it. A little bit good management and, okay, of course, you need to avoid some injuries. I agree. So how I collected 190 with Crystal? Basically, I sold almost entire team. I sold. I mean, Zaha on the beginning of game is more than 50 millions worth, and I just sold him for 35 in the cash, just because I wanted just money, you know. Oh, okay. This guy I loaned because Italian complete forward striker, so I need to see where he will play and how will I fit him. I have Flocari, him, so we will try, we will try. People asking me who is the best player on FM. I can tell you one guy is the best, my opinion. Maybe the second one. Dani Olmo is the best player in FM. I mean, I won everything with him. The squad. He can play any. He can play a striker and any central midfielder role. He has a lot of traits, so you don't need to lose the time to train him. He's the best. I mean, he was scoring for me goals from everywhere and always scoring critical goals. I mean, he's man of the moment. Also, he's very consistent. Another one what I really like is Tonelli. I feel he, with his ability to dictate play, is insane. And you can use him as a defensive midfielder, deep line playmaker, everything. He can play everything. Even he can play Mezzala, actually. He's really good. Okay, Herbie Kane. Okay, Pellegrini for now on the bench. I mean, these two guys are scoring. I need to keep them. Mid standard, defense standard. Let's go. I always try, you know, when I'm doing YouTube, just because of the time limit, I want to play as fast as possible. Somebody also asking me why I'm watching on these highlights extended. I noticed long time ago, if you go extended highlights, your results are better actually. Maybe some people not agree, but for me, I feel that's mandatory. And I also want to watch my team as much as possible, just to observe. I mean, it's not easy with this shitty match engine. You see, I'm now watching the games in 2D. You know, I never do this shit, but that's the life. So we are playing against Sassuolo. Whoever, I mean, the people who follow the football know that Sassuolo is having one, let's say, top player. That's Berardi. Berardi, this guy who is taking set pieces. He's their key player. They have also always in the mid, they have 2-3 decent midfielders like Locatelli, like, I don't know, where is Duncan? Probably they sold him. So they're pretty decent squad, and I like to, before I was liking to manage and play with them. Can I score from set piece? This looks very promising. Do not lose the ball. Come on. Fuck. So you saw my build up in attacking phase. Nice pass from central defender on the wide area. Now I have issue. The wing backs are also tackling. I'm using get stuck in, so definitely I need to replace him. But who can play on the right side? Only this guy. Fuck it. It's not his best role, but I don't care. It's the best. I want to see, is it possible to play with two physical strikers up front, like these two guys. Fuck, also this... I cannot risk... do I have central defender on bench? No, fuck. Again, I'm changing this one. I have a feeling this game will be 0-0. Time is going very fast, and actually I didn't create nothing. I really have a bad feeling about this game. I think I will lose the points. Now, you see now the problems when you have not enough players. Come on, score from set piece, fuck it. Yes. What I will do now? Definitely I will change to balanced. Balanced, I like. I didn't experiment a lot with other things when I'm closing the game, but going like this. And look this shit, this is what irritates me, this amount of stupid penalties is insane. Can goalkeeper save the penalty? Please, miss. Fuck. Okay, this is situations when you need to have some luck. This is one of the problems they still didn't fix. And red card for this guy. Fuck! That was very hard campaign. So, when you watch the table in Italian division, normally I just watching where is the Zebra. Zebra is fucking Juventus. All others I don't care. This is, I feel only Juventus is your competition when you play Italian league. Genoa away. Yeah, 2 points dropped at home, not good. Not fucking good. So Petagna is of course strong and powerful striker. So I need Palosci or Pellegrini to perform in that other role. For very good. Juventus again draw, so very good for me. So actually, they draw with Genoa at home, so this is compensating my draw with Sassuolo. So we have time to do one more game. As I said, around 4 games per episode. Yeah, after I finish this episode, I will just remove all these other remove legs and some other small things to adjust. I need to adjust the trainings also. So regarding the trainings, normally I do only individual trainings, and that's the thing. I didn't sign any striker or midfielder. I forget it. So normally I like from my midfielder to score the fucking goals. And how is his long shot? So basically, from regarding the trainings, I want to do only individual trainings. So from this guy, definitely I will try to train him to use place shot or something like that. I want to see goals from midfielders, long shot, place shot. The another things what I like from midfielders is, let's say, dictate the tempo and like these things. But I didn't sign too many youngsters, so only this guy I need to train later on. Yeah, the next game is Genoa away. Uh, I will continue with Paloscia starter, and then second half I will put Pellegrini. And I will keep Petagna. Petagna is scoring goals for now. I think he scored already 3 goals. 3 goals, 3 games. Also, in my Crystal Palace say actually striker on support score more goal than striker on attack. I was really surprised by that one. So if you have some questions, feel free to ask in the comment, or I'm active mostly on FM-based site. I like to check because the sport interactive I don't like. Uh, what will happen with beta? Most probably this tactic and this match engine will be not same when this beta is released officially. So again, then we will need to to adjust the tactics and everything. But I think it will be again 90% everything same. Everything the formation will work. Just maybe smaller things with roles. That's it. Few smaller instructions. Normally, always my tactic work any update. Of course, you need to know, or you need to be capable with managing your team. Me, as I said, I'm not so much focused now because playing this shit. I think now it's more than 20 years. I mean, this type of game. And people are sometimes asking me who was my favorite team through history. I think Betis. Fuck. Goalkeeper also injured. Fuck, this never happens to me, to my teams. Tomovic. Let me check one thing. I think I have some non-pace central defender on the transfer. This guy, I will also put him up. just to have some kind of solution in later in the late games. Actually, my ball-winning midfielder on support is not having any player instruction, because when I was doing beta, this was the role I was mostly struggling, and only this role was working for me. So you can see Igor, who is central defender, is playing as wing back just because he's left-footed. I mean, he can be used as he has some accomplished. I forget to change some of things what I was using. Again, very nice pass. So this is the thing, you see. So imagine if you have a wing back like high quality left wing backs who has very good dribbling and finishing. He can score a lot of goals. I mean, if you have the most, I think most overrated. Oh, is this goal is offside? No, it's goal. Definitely, I'm lucky with this schedule. As you can see, I'm playing with smaller teams because you saw how many fucking long-term injuries I have. Injuries, suspensions. That's why I was saying the playing with big clubs is fucking joke. It's for I mean, for children, for kids. Come on. Again. So you see it. You see the wing back position. So another thing important. When I was creating this formation, I didn't actually assign the role to take the set pieces, but I prefer for corners to do one of the mezzalas, let's say. And I never like my wing backs to take set piece, because my wing backs, when I'm having corner or direct free kicks, are staying back because they are most basic players in my team actually. So they can cover the ground and prevent counter-attack. So try to use one of the mezzalas for the corners. Oh, so you see Igor, who is central defender, how he cross and how I score goals. So imagine if you have top wing back. I have a lot of yellow cards. What I noticed in this beta when I was playing with Crystal Palace, some games I have fucking 5-6 yellow cards, then comes some games I don't have any cards. I also forget that sometimes to do, for example, if you lead with 2 goals difference and you are sure you will not lose, just remove team instruction to get stuck in. Me, I know that I'm lazy in that things, but that's also good things how you can, let's say, prevent accumulation of yellow cards. Who scored? I think Pandev scored. So you see Tomovic, very poor header, poor reaction. Of course, I considered goal. What I need to check? Yellow cards, I think. Fuck. Mirko Valdifor is 33 years old veteran, so he will go in. I'm not a big fan of changing uh, the strikers because I want to keep them. But now I have Pellegrini and I have Flocari, and this game Aloshi scored a goal. So, and Petagna, I want to keep his momentum. So he's always aerial threat. I don't know. Come on, one good cross. Very rarely I see that striker with yellow card is getting red. Okay, so this is what I'm telling you regarding the set pieces. I feel I'm really this tactic is good with this in this area. I want to try Pellegrini, but Petagna is my player. Oh, so again, wing back in action. See, a lot of times wing backs are on decent shooting area. Two goals different, so I would not care to play it balanced or something like that. Very poor shoot. But he's fired up, so you cannot. I don't want to replace him, the player who is fired up. I don't check too much these things. So this will be all for first episode. I will now check some trainings and this remove some divisions, and I hope today I play more. I would like to play. So as you can see, pretty decent start, especially Juventus has already 2 draws. So I'm hoping to keep this momentum. I mean, I was having easy schedule, so I will see next game is, let me check my schedule. Roma, Milan, Juventus. So you can see now the things will come interesting in the next episode. So episode 2 will be really interesting. So thanks for watching, and you can always find me around on FM Base or even on Twitter. So bye.